First, though, we're off to Dumfries and Galloway. The village of New Abbey is well known for Sweetheart Abbey. But high on the hills above, there's another historic edifice. I'm here with War Monuments expert Paul Goodwin to discover the monument's link to the Battle of Waterloo. Well, Waterloo is a very apt name in this part of the world. Here in Dumfries and Galloway, it's absolutely pouring with rain. We're just at the village of New Abbey, and up there is the Waterloo Monument. And Paul, this was started in
1816. The foundation stones were laid. The head of the local estate had a brother who served at Waterloo. We're not quite sure whether he served at Waterloo or during the time of Waterloo. There's some doubt in the historical record. But certainly it's a military family, and people were very proud. It's a circular tower, about 50 feet high, with a stairwell up the centre.
It sounds fascinating, and it's just waiting to be explored. Alas, the driving rain has defeated us, just as it helped defeat the French at Waterloo. Napoleon postponed the battle because of wet weather. The delay was fatal. It gave Britain's Prussian allies time to arrive and join forces. On the next fine day, Paul came back with our camera crew.
It's a shame that Fiona and I couldn't make it up here earlier in the week because the weather was so bad, because it's a lovely walk up here. It's only about half a mile from the car park, but it can take 20-25 minutes because the height you've got to gain. But there's a good steps and path all the way up, and the views from the top are absolutely fantastic.
This is a very steep hill. It rises 175 metres over 570 feet in just half a mile. The granite steps leading to the tower are an engineering feat in themselves. Imagine moving all this heavy stone about.
Okay, so here we are, journey's end at the Waterloo Monument. This is unusual amongst war memorials because this one doesn't have any names on, which is what we would expect nowadays. But also it's unusual because this commemorates us being allies with the Germans and others against the French, and in more recent times we would expect it to be the other way round.
The monument is said to have been inspired by the brother of a local laird on this, the Shambelly estate. Lieutenant Colonel James Stewart commanded the Black Watch and is buried in the Abbey. The money raised for the monument was collected by public subscription, and local support was touching. Even the widow of one Robbie Burns sent a donation, while those with no money offered to do their bit by carrying stones to the top.
So for a 200-year-old monument, it's in very good condition. It's not quite as it originally was. There would have been a solid oak door here to begin with. There's some structural elements sticking out the side, and also at the top there's some evidence that the parapet was originally a bit higher than it is now, although the documentation is not quite clear on that. And there was a flagpole at the top, we believe. Talking of the top, now it's time to go to the top and see the view from up there. So we're at the top, and it's a little unsteady, so children should be supervised and you take care when you climb up, but the view from the top is absolutely fantastic.
There's a booklet on this Waterloo monument, produced by the Reverend William Holland, former minister of New Abbey Church. In it, he echoes some of the sentiments of the time.
The posterity of the humblest mechanic who now hears me may centuries after this be as well acquainted with the glories of the 18th of June as we are. By means of the monument we now propose to erect, by us they will never be forgotten. Their fathers will tell them, and they will tell it to their children.
They certainly will.